Welcome to this section on other AI tools for video creators and YouTubers. In this section, I'm going to cover a number of other AI tools that we believe will help you make videos and be a YouTuber, such as Midjourney, DALL-E, and Adobe Firefly. These are all text to image generation tools. They all do similar things, but I want to cover them all because some are paid, some are free, and some are better than the others for different things. Video.ai is a great tool. This one can help you condense long form videos into short ones, create videos from scratch based off of text scripts, similar to Pictory.ai, which is another tool that can do that. And then many more. We're going to cover different tools that can create great sounding audio voiceovers from a script that you have. Some are free, some are paid again, so I cover a few different ones. And this is a section I'll be updating over time as more tools come out and I have more recommendations. So make sure you have your notifications turned on in the course so that if we do add a new lesson, when I email you about that update, you know that it is there in the class. All right, let's go to the next lesson and I'll see you there. Don't you just love the process of putting out a video and then being like, oh, but I forgot I need to create a short and a reel version of this video. Let me go back into the editing room, cut it down into a 60-second short to throw up to my social media followers. No one likes this process. And if you do, God bless you, you're a saint. But honestly, it's one of the worst parts, in my opinion, of content creation now. Thankfully, there are AI tools that can help you with this, and one of them is video.ai. There are alternatives that do a similar thing, but video.ai is the one that I recommend, particularly because you get 75 minutes of upload for free every month. So you can start using this for free. Just go to video.ai, sign in, click the start for free button. Once you sign in for the first time, it's going to walk you through a process of asking you what kind of content you're interested in. It has different templates for the style of videos it creates, and it'll ask you for your preferences. All of this can be customized later on, but just walk through that process, and then it will ask you to upload a video. You can upload it as a file, or you can just paste a YouTube link, which is awesome. You could outsource this process and have someone do it from your YouTube video. And since it's just being posted to social media, the quality from a YouTube video is actually pretty good. Here you can see what I have with a bunch of videos that I've already used Video AI to help me make shorts. And once you upload it, it's going to take a little while to process depending on the length of the video. But once it's done, you can just click on any of these review clips buttons and it will bring up the segments that it has turned into a short for you. Something that we noticed as soon as we came to this spot, because we're shooting the sun's right in the middle of the sky, and there's trees here, we've got bright sunny spots and then we have dark shady spots. So I love how it's taken this one tip from this lesson. It's cut the video so that both Will and myself are on camera. There must be some sort of face detection feature in the way that it edits the clips because it has both of us on the screen. Then it cut to sort of a multi-view of the B-roll shot. It automatically adds captions, which is great. And it's pretty much good to go, ready to go. You can see a square version, you can see a landscape version. You can change the template. So say you don't like this look, we can click on any of these different styles and it will automatically change the look, which is just insane. And then you could also edit all of the text, the style as well if we want to go into this. But I want to show you another one because there is one thing to note.
The next shot we're going to do is we're going to punch in a little bit with the lens.
So this is cool. I picked a specific part of this lesson that it saw was a good short, but on the screen I have title cards. So that's the one thing about this tool. Maybe you don't care about it, but visually the title card that I had, the graphic I had on the video burned in, it's getting cut off and I don't like that at all. So I can go in and edit this here to maybe zoom in and cut that off. Or what you might consider is if you're really going to be using this tool, export a version and just turn off all your title cards and graphics and just let video.ai add subtitles, and you could add graphics here on video AI if you want. Here's another example. So this is a little tutorial I put together, and I love what this did. So the takeaways, if you're going for this bokeh effect of having these, so not all of the clips are going to work. I'm not going to promise you that you're going to throw in your video and you're going to be like, oh wow, now I have 10 videos to put as shorts. I would say that maybe 1 to 2 are perfect, and then some of them have to be edited. You can see that the spelling for bokeh is actually wrong here, and that can all be changed in editing. But it does a pretty good job at finding this specific segment here. Bokeh or bokeh, it is the English word that comes from Japanese that means blur. So if you do want to go in and edit your videos, you just click the edit and download video button, and from here you can edit everything. So here we're just going to say, what is bokeh? And that is the title card that we would use. On the left, you have all of your different tabs for the different elements. So we have the templates here as well. So maybe we want a completely different look. We can just click and it automatically changes that. There are some pro features that I don't want to get into, like my templates and cut magic, but here we can go into our subtitles. We can go into our captions and edit this. So I can quickly edit these captions so that they are right. You can delete them. If you want to just get rid of captions for a certain part of your video, you can add other elements on top of this. So if you have images, videos that you want to throw up and edit in here, you can. There's progress bars that will show the length of the video so people can track that. You can add your brand kit logos. You can add any other text here as well. So if we want to add new text for a title card or your own personal Instagram handle, call to action, you can do that. You can change the background, and even with a pro account, you could generate captions for this, which is awesome. So you can just plug and play, throw this into any of these platforms, and it will basically create the whole thing for you. The other thing I love about this tool is you can preview what it looks like on social, which is super helpful to know what part of the screen is going to be seen or not with the different user information, likes, thumbnails, all thumbs down, all of that you might have on here. So you can really keep everything visible. Once you're done, you just click download video. With a free account, you have 720p. Click confirm, it's going to download for you. Pro accounts, you get 1080p. So that's just a quick crash course into video.ai, one of the coolest AI tools for video creators. I hope you enjoy, and I hope that it helps you put out more content in less time. Cheers. Want to learn how to clone your own voice? There's no need to actually record video voiceovers again. That's what you can do with 11 Labs. And in fact, this is a clone of my very own voice. Scary, huh? That is scary. And while it's not perfect, it is scary how easy it was to use 11 Labs to clone my own voice. Let's listen to that one more time. Want to learn how to clone your own voice? Like that first part, that's literally me talking. Like, want to learn how to clone your own voice? There's no need to actually record video voiceovers again. Starts to get a little bit off. That's what you can do with 11 Labs. And in fact, this is a clone of my very own voice. Scary, huh? So, you be the judge. But that's what you can do with 11 Labs. And how will we use this as content creators? We could use this to quickly create a custom voiceover for a video. Beyond video and YouTube creation, you could use this for narrating an ebook, for sending voice messages to fans, to followers. You can do so much with this. And this is at 11 Labs, which is still in beta, but 11labs.io. You can just use it as a tool to create voiceover from text, or you can clone your own voice, which is why I am doing this as a separate lesson. It is not free to get started with the voice cloning aspect of it, but if you click the sign up button, sign in. Currently, it's $5 a month for the cheapest tier. Once you sign in, you'll click the Voice Lab button and click Add Generative or Cloned Voice. You can see the one that I already created for myself. And then click Instant Voice Cloning. These other ones are where you are choosing or creating a voice from scratch, which is kind of cool. But to clone your own voice, click Instant Voice Cloning. And then here's where you're going to need to upload files. The longer and the higher quality the file, the better the results will be. I tried it after just uploading one file and it was okay, but once I uploaded like 4 more additional files, it started to work really well. So you just click to upload a file. It has to be 10 megabytes or lower. I uploaded MP3 files and it seemed to work perfectly fine. You can upload up to 25 files. You can also click to add labels, for example, like accent, American, but I didn't do that. But if you have a specific accent or something that you definitely want to add a label for, you can do that here. You can also add a description, which will help it. You do have to give it the rights to process your voice and create a clone from your voice. And so you have to have the rights to the audio. So you can't use this to clone someone else's voice if you don't have the rights. Once you do that, you'll see here my example. Once it's uploaded and I click generate, it literally took less than a minute to create. I can click use, and then here is where I just simply typed in the text that I wanted it to read. There are some voice settings here. So the default I felt like worked pretty good. But if I wanted a little bit more variation, then I can change some of these settings. So let me just do this one more time with a different setup. To change the tone or speed of the voiceover, you can adjust the stability and clarity sliders, then click generate. Okay, Robot Phil, I will do that. So decreasing the stability really does change like the pacing. To change the tone or speed of the voiceover, you can adjust the stability and clarity sliders, then click generate. Okay. To change the tone or speed of the voiceover, you can adjust the stability and clarity sliders, then click generate. Then click generate. To change the tone or speed of the voiceover, you can adjust the stability and clarity sliders and then click generate. So that's, yeah, the clarity. I like having the high similarity and then something around the middle for stability. To change the tone or speed of the voiceover, you can adjust the stability and clarity sliders, then click generate. That's scary. And then you can download with the button down in the bottom right. So you could add multiple voices. This is an incredible tool that I'm sure will be used either from 11 Labs or other companies out there are doing the same thing, but it will soon, I'm guessing, be an option right within apps like Premiere Pro or these other AI tools like video.io, where it will actually use your own voice for the voiceover of the video rather than some random voiceover. So stay on the lookout for those tools if you're interested. But for now, check out 11 Labs and let it blow your mind. Bye. In this lesson, I'm going to show you a really cool Google Chrome extension that will summarize any YouTube video out there. So this is more if you are doing research or if you are someone just interested in watching YouTube videos, not necessarily for making videos. Although if you are watching other YouTube videos as part of your research to make your own videos, this can be super helpful. Basically what it does is it reads the transcript of any YouTube video and summarizes it in a few bullet points. And yes, you could go into YouTube videos, copy the transcript, paste it into ChatGPT with a prompt and do the same thing, but this does it with the click of a button. So the name is YouTube Summary with ChatGPT, and it's at glasp.co. I'll leave a link in this lesson for you to get that. Or you can just go onto Google and search for ChatGPT YouTube Summarizer, and it's this first one. If you go to this one, and it'll be an extension, which you can click the button to just add to Chrome right here. I already have it installed. And then basically how it works is you go to any YouTube video. So here's one that popped up. This is interesting. The world's most electric city by Freethink. Interesting, but I might not have time to watch this entire video. So there's this new transcript and summary little box that appears right here. If I click the drop down button, you can see that it pops open the transcript. I can copy that if I want, or I can click this View AI Summary, which will open up a ChatGPT tab. It will plug in the prompt and the transcript. And now down below, we can see the 5 bullet point summary of this entire video. Great for learning, great for research. There are settings if you click on the icon up here for this Chrome extension. And if you don't have this, you can click the little extensions, little puzzle icon up here and choose to pin this or not to your browsing bar up here. But the YouTube and article summary extension has different settings that you can check out here. The one thing that I wanted to show you is that there is a limit right now in how much text ChatGPT can actually use or read or analyze. And so there's 3 different strategies that this tool uses. It will basically take equally sized chunks of text throughout the entire video and use those within ChatGPT to analyze, which there's a possibility of it missing a point. So that could be a bad thing. But if it's a super long video, over 20 minutes it talks about, then it's going to be difficult. You can also do start to limit. So this will analyze all of the text until the limit of ChatGPT. So the process will cancel out after ChatGPT reaches its limit, which will work well for short videos, but not for long ones. And then this last one, entire content, but this might have errors where it's trying to bring in all the text, but ChatGPT won't be able to read it. So again, this will work for shorter videos. I think the equally sized chunk works pretty well at giving a summary. You can also turn on a shortcut, so you can literally just press Control or Command on a Mac, Command XX to run this. So literally just, let's go to another video. With that on, let's go to another video. Let's see, what is YouTube recommending me? Oh, can you tell that I'm into urban design? Not just spike, so Command XX automatically summarizes this video. The other setting you might want to change too, if you find a prompt that works better, they're using a very simple prompt. Summarize the following in 5 bullet points. But if you find a better prompt or want to use a different prompt, you can do that. And that just makes me think that actually now we can customize this to do pretty much anything we want, which is pretty dang cool. Rewrite the title of this video to make it more clickable and SEO friendly. All right, let's try this. So there we have it. We basically hacked that extension to do whatever we want with a keyboard shortcut. So anyways, that is something to play around with. I'll leave the link in the resources of this lesson, and I hope you enjoy. See you next time. In this lesson, I've included a crash course that comes from another class on Google Bard, but I wanted to include it here because Bard is a great alternative to ChatGPT and it's free to use. And knowing Google, I'm assuming that it's going to get better and better at what it does, similar to ChatGPT. There's pros and cons. I find that ChatGPT is often better for a lot of more creative work. But if you want to try out Google Bard as an alternative, this crash course will show you how to use it. Enjoy. Let's go to bard.google.com and sign in with your Google account. Up until now, it has been sort of a beta waitlist thing, but I believe now anyone can access it if they have a Google account. But that might not be true for every single country. Once you log in, you will see something that looks like this. On the right-hand side, you have your prompt box. You also have a microphone if you want to use that to just do it via verse. voice. You have a dark theme, which is pretty cool too. That's a little bit easier on the eyes, so I'm going to switch to that for now. You have your past Bard activity over on the left-hand side, support, etc. It still notes that there might be some mistakes or things in unfactual results, so you have to be aware of that. Currently, it's just text responses similar to ChatGPT, but they are adding an option for an image creator and also a tool where you could submit images as part of your prompts. So let's just do a basic one. Make a list of 10 toddler craft ideas. This is great for me personally to help me take care of my kids, or if I was blogging, writing an article, creating a video about craft ideas. And it pops up here with our option. A couple of differences that you will notice with Google Bard is that it has a draft option or version option. So here at the top, there's multiple drafts. So there's actually 3 that pop up for every prompt. And you can also regenerate right from here. So it keeps it a little bit cleaner. If you're using the 3.5 version of ChatGPT, you won't have all of the formatting that Google Bard results in. GPT-4 is pretty good with bullet points and lists and numbering and things like that. But Google Bard already, for the free version, it comes back with nice formatting, bullet points, outlines, and things like that. So this is pretty cool. It comes out with great ideas. Down below too, you can either say it's a good response, bad response. You can also export it, which is very cool. In ChatGPT, you just have to currently just copy and paste the text. But here we can export to an email or to Google Docs, which is super cool. The other thing you can do is click Google it, and it will open up a search for this idea. And here you can just find directly from Google Bard their search results and go kind of compare notes if you want, or if you want to just kind of use it in conjunction with your regular search. Similar to ChatGPT, we can then prompt it for our next text that we want. Write a 5-minute video on the first craft. And so because it's AI, it's smart enough to know, like, we don't have to specify paper plate donuts. It will know what we mean by that first craft. So here it comes back sort of with more of an outlined version of the video. So it has the introduction, the materials needed, the instructions, some ideas for variations, and a conclusion. It also gives some tips for what you might want to include in this video, which is kind of cool too. We could also prompt it from the beginning with this idea. So we could say, write a 5-minute script for a video teaching kids how to make paper plate donuts. Make it fun and exciting. The audience is parents of young kids, as well as kids ages 3 to 7. So when you're writing your prompts, you remember, you're not just asking for the content you want, but you're asking for the style that you want it to come back in. You're telling it the audience that it's writing for. And this is what we call prompt engineering, changing the prompt to get exactly what you want from it. So Google Bard doesn't do as good as what ChatGPT 4 comes back as. It's very similar to that earlier prompt, but what it does, it gives us some additional ideas for lines that you might want to say throughout your video. Can you make a donut with sprinkles? Can you make a donut that looks like a cat? So that's kind of fun. It lets us do a little bit more of the work than just doing it all for us, but it's very, very thorough as well. So this is a great tool for sort of making your job easier, but not doing it all for you. We could take this paper plate donut and change up the prompt. Write a 500-word article about this craft. And then we could paste that. And here it has written that out in more of an article format with instructions, tips, ideas for making the paper plate donut even more fun, and it kind of concludes it. And always make sure to check out the variations. You can kind of combine the different variations to get exactly what you were looking for, or there might be one that's in a different format that is more of what you were imagining. So that's how you use Google Bard. Currently, I find ChatGPT to be a bit more advanced, but we know that Google Bard has the Google name and company behind it, and it's only going to get better and better and better. So I wouldn't write it off yet, but at the time of recording, I would do most of my work with ChatGPT 3.5 or 4 if you are a paying plus member. I just find it to be a bit better. All right, I hope you enjoyed this crash course, and we will see you in another lesson. Bye. Welcome to this lesson on text to image generation. In the following lessons, I've included crash courses on how to use Adobe Firefly, DALL-E, and Midjourney. These are 3 powerful tools that can help you create images from text. In this lesson, I want to talk about the differences between the apps, which one I recommend. In the following lessons, I walk through how to actually use these tools to create images. Later on in the course, I have a case study specific to using these tools for YouTube thumbnails that you should check out. For now, I just want to walk you through how to use these tools, but you can use them for anything. Imagine creating YouTube thumbnails, but also artwork within your videos. Any sort of image or graphic, you can use these tools to create that kind of artwork. So here on the screen, you can see Adobe Firefly. It's in beta right now, and these tools are changing and being updated all the time. So by the time you watch this, it might change. It might be something that you're using Photoshop and you're actually would rather just use Photoshop to create artwork instead of using the web app. But if you're not a Photoshop user and you do have an Adobe account, Adobe Firefly does have this web option, which is at firefly.adobe.com. You'll see the text to image generation page, and you can see all of the different examples of types of images that people are creating based off of text prompts. So this is just someone typing in text, and you can get a highlight of the text here, and you can see what was created. And so I'm going to walk you through this process in the crash course lesson, but use this as inspiration for what you might need to create. Not just big thumbnail images, but maybe background textures that you include in a video or in a graphic that you're using. You can use it all sorts of ways. The quality of images in Adobe Firefly is really, really high. So I like using Firefly. The downside is you need an Adobe membership to use Firefly, which does cost. So that's no good if you want something for free. DALL-E is OpenAI's tool. OpenAI created ChatGPT, and they have created DALL-E, which is their text-to-image generation tool. To get to DALL-E, you can go to openai.com and go down to product and then DALL-E 2, and you can try it out. If you have a ChatGPT account, it's the same account. You do need to purchase credits. So if you go up to your profile up here, you can click buy credits, and it takes credits to actually create images. So it's more affordable than Adobe Firefly, and they used to have free credits every month. They've sort of changed this, so you might be able to try it out for free if you are new. But you can see the images. I have just found that it's really hard to get these high quality images using prompts in DALL-E, but you can try it out. It's much more affordable. And if you already have the ChatGPT account, you might as well try it out. And I have the crash course that walks you through this. And then lastly, there's Midjourney. Midjourney is super, super powerful. It also costs though. So go to midjourney.com and choose join the beta. This is a bit more confusing than the other tools because you're actually using Discord as the tool, the interface to create images, but you can see that these are all images that I've actually created from my own prompts, from photorealistic images of this cat wearing a top hat to artwork like this kid going on an adventure here. All sorts of fun stuff that you can do with Midjourney. So here you can see an example of this like background pattern or textures. Here we got all these vintage style cameras that are cool. You can do so much with Midjourney and with all of these tools. So enjoy the next lessons where I walk through how to use each of these tools. And then for more specific YouTube video creator content using these tools, I'll see you in the case study section later on. So here on the text to image page, you can see examples and you can scroll up or down, which is kind of interesting to see what the image is and what the result is. A hamster wearing a tracksuit and lifting weights. You click on the box down below to type in your prompt. A cute sea otter holding a bouquet of flowers. You click generate or hit the return button. Here you're automatically going to see something different than what you saw using DALL-E or Midjourney if you've used those other tools. You have a lot of different options that can adjust this photo on the right-hand side. Now we see the 4 variations that have been generated. You can click on one of them to open it up to see it in a bigger view. And for each of these photos, you have the option to download it. That might be the first thing you want to do. You can rate it, which will help Firefly get better and better at generating. You also have an option for showing similar. So clicking on this, it will create another version similar to the one that you liked. And there's also an option for generative fill. Before I go over that though, on the right hand side, we have all of these options. So on the top, you can quickly change the aspect ratio from a square image. Say we want a widescreen 16:9 image for a video thumbnail or something like that. You can quickly adjust it right here in the app. While that loads, we have different content types. So you have none, which will just refer to whatever content prompt you put into your prompt. For example, artwork, illustration, sketch, photo, whatever. If you have that in your prompt, you don't necessarily need to choose a content type here. But up here, we can quickly change from art to photo, and it will regenerate this same image as a more photorealistic image. Depending on the subject matter, depending on the prompt, it will look more or less realistic. This one is so great right here. I'm going to heart that one. That's going to add that to my favorites, and I'm also going to give it a rating. Down below content type, you have styles. So let's click on the all, and you can see there's so many different styles that can change what this looks like. So for example, let's change to hyper realistic. It adds that tag here to our prompt down below. And then also let's go down and change some of these other settings. So color and tone, we can choose. Do we want it to be black and white, warm tone, cool tone? I'm going to choose vibrant color. For lighting, let's do backlighting. That's going to be nice. And composition, let's go ahead and do a close-up. So now we have all of these tags that help us adjust our image, and we're going to click generate. Now we have all 4 images with the styles that we applied, the different settings. This one now, beautiful backlighting on this hyper realistic image of this otter. Now this image doesn't look completely like a real photo. I'm going to go ahead and download it. So I'm going to click continue to download it. But a different prompt might work better. Let's leave all of these styles, and I'm just going to type in a long exposure of a waterfall. And let's actually change our aspect ratio to vertical. And now we have an image that looks quite realistic. You can see in the detail of this long exposure that the background looks pretty good. I might change some of these things like vibrant color. I would maybe just put none. Lighting, let's just do none as well. Composition, let's do wide angle. Let's regenerate these options. And now this image, which is the one that we were looking at before, a little bit more realistic because those colors weren't so vibrant and just not natural. And that's text to image. Play around with it. Use these other examples to give you some inspiration. And as I expand this course, I will give you lots more tips and advice for creating incredible images like the ones you see here. See you in the next lesson. Welcome to this new lesson. In this one, we're going to be looking at Midjourney. So you're going to learn how to create your own images, photorealistic images, illustrations, and so much more with this powerful tool. Go to midjourney.com, and if you click on Showcase, you can see examples of what you'll be able to do with this app, from illustrations and digital art to realistic images. You can do it all. In the past, Midjourney has had a free trial, but currently you do have to pay to get started. To sign up, you want to click the Sign In button and then join the beta. Midjourney is built on the Discord application, which is a website and a downloadable computer app. It's sort of like a community chat app similar to Slack, where you can have different channels or groups or areas where you can chat, and you'll see how it works in a second. But all you have to know is that you have to sign up for a Discord account, which you can do by following the process when you click on join the beta. So if you already have a Discord account, you'll want to click already have an account and sign in. If not, you'll have to sign up for one here. Once you sign in, you can see your different Discord groups or sites that you're on. You can see that I'm in a couple. The Midjourney one is here, and here you can see all of the different channels. There's one for getting started, which is great to check into to see some instructions for getting started, and it will walk you through the process that I'm going to show you right now. To actually create an image, it's a little bit confusing, but basically what you need to do is go to any of these newbies channels. Don't worry about it. Just go to the newbies channel and you'll see a stream of comments and images that other people are actually creating in real time. To create an image, you have to follow this specific process. Go to the chat box or the messages in the bottom of any of these newbies channels, type in /imagine, and you'll see the different commands start to pop up here. And so you can type in imagine or just click that imagine. And then you simply type in anything that you can imagine. An illustrated cute cat in a top hat. And similar to what we saw with ChatGPT, you can go super in depth into what the prompt is, and that's part of the magic of making the result exactly what you're imagining. But you can start with something simple. And you can see though, other chats sort of started to pop in, and what's happening is other people are doing this at the same time. This is a public feed, so other people can see what you're creating. But you see what I've done here, it's starting to populate or render. It's at 31%, 46, and you can start to see the image. Once it's done, that chat or that comment will pop down to the bottom as an actual published comment. And here we can click on it and we can see the full resolution of that image. So we've got 4 illustrated cats. What do we do with this? It gives us 4 variations. Underneath this image, you see 8 buttons, or actually 9 buttons. U1 through 4 and V1 through 4. U means you're going to be able to upscale or create a higher resolution image of any of one of these. Starting in the top right, it's U1, U2, 3, and then 4. So if you're happy with one of these images, you just click U1, for example, and it will upscale this first image. V1 through 4 means you like this image, but you want it to create some variations to see if it can create something a little bit different. So I like this 4th one, but I want to see what it comes up with some variation. So I'm going to click V4. And then I can scroll down and I can see that it finished this one job of the first U1 upscaling. And then down below, it has my next variation job that's starting to run. There was that one other button, if I scroll up here, It's this rotating arrows button, and that's just to create 4 brand new variations. So completely start from scratch, do 4 new ones. And so now we have these 4 new variations. And from here, we can upscale 1, create more variations, regenerate everything, and you can keep going and going and going. So I think that first one's pretty darn cute with its little paws coming out. So I'm going to upscale that one. Once it's upscaled, you can either download it by just simply clicking on it, right-clicking and choosing to save to your computer, or you can click web right here. And from here, you could also see you have a make variations button too. If I click on the web button, what's going to happen is it's going to open up the Midjourney site where you can sign in with your account that you created already, your Discord account. And here we have our Midjourney library, and it's loading all of the images that I've created in the past and saved to my account. And here it opens up, and from here we can save it, we can favorite certain ones that we like, we can share it with people. It gives us the information, and it also gives us some related images that you might be interested in looking at. And then back on our profile, if you exit out of that image, you can see all of the ones that we have saved to the web. So this is a great, clean way, easy way to save photos for using later. There's also another way to create images, which I find a little bit more organized and easier to work with. If you click on the direct messages button up here, and then you click find or start a conversation, you can type in Midjourney and find the Midjourney bot. And here you can see that I have an organized thread with all of my own creations. So this is not competing with a bunch of other Midjourney users. It's all right here. So again, we type in /imagine, / that is. Now let's do a photorealistic image of a cat wearing a top hat sitting in the middle of a pile of fall leaves. The background is blurry. It is a photo shot at sunset with beautiful golden hour light. This is where you can get super detailed with exactly what you want your image to look like. So the main things while this starts to load to think about when you're putting in a prompt for Midjourney are, of course, the subject, also what's around your subject, what the setting is, and then the style or format. So is it a photo? Is it an illustration? Is it a sketch? Is it digital art? Is it in a particular style? You can reference other photographers or periods of arts. You can be impressionistic or abstract, modern pop art, anime or manga style. You could reference popular historical photographers, and you can reference camera models, camera lenses to use. And here we have this. This is pretty good. And there's obviously something about these images that look fake because it's sort of a magical idea. But in terms of the quality of the image, the cats themselves look pretty darn realistic. I'm going to do some variations for this variation 4. The light is beautiful. It captured exactly what I was going for. And if I didn't have the top hat in there, it would look almost like a real photo captured at a perfect time with perfect lighting, edited really well. And you can only imagine what in the next year, 2, or beyond, these tools are going to be able to do. And you'll also notice that depending on how many people are using the system, sometimes it takes longer or shorter for your images to actually pop up and be created. So these are all pretty darn good. I kind of actually like this original one right here. So I'm going to upscale that 4th option, and I'm going to save that to my Midjourney account. Something to note about the direct messaging option though is that Your images can still appear on the public Midjourney site. They pull images that are great, that are then rated well, and they might showcase it. So depending on what you're creating, it's not a private option. You have to pay for, I think, the top tier account on Midjourney to do what's called stealth mode, which is private, having all of your images private. So just be aware of that. Awesome. So that is a quick crash course into Midjourney. In the next video, we're going to learn how to use our own images to create cool, fun variations of those images, and also how to use an image that Midjourney created to create a second image or a third image in a series. Welcome to this crash course on DALL-E. DALL-E is an image generation tool similar to Midjourney, and it's put out by OpenAI, and it's a very simple tool to use. So the pros of DALL-E are that it's very simple to use. You actually get free credits every month as of now to test it out and play around. The cons are that the quality of what you get back in terms of your images, the details, just the professional quality is not as good as what you can get in a tool like Midjourney. But let's try it out and I'll walk through. It's very simple. Go over to OpenAI's website, go up to product and then DALL-E tool, and then choose try DALL-E. If you already have an account, then all you need to do is sign in. In the top right corner, you'll see that you have a certain number of credits. Right now I have 79 left, and that's because I've purchased some, but you do have some credits to start out. At the top of the page, you have a search bar where you put in a prompt. You have an option to upload an image to edit. And then you also have some samples, which are great to look at to see sort of the examples of the prompts that were used. These images, they pick some of the top ones that have come back from the tool, and that's makes sense. But I found that it's just not as easy to get a great quality image, especially more of like the photorealistic images with DALL-E. However, let's go ahead and try. So I'm going to show you a basic prompt, then we'll talk through some more advanced prompts. So a basic prompt would be a fox in a forest. It's going to load through. On the right hand side, you can see the history of images that you've generated, and you can see that I've tested out a few different ones over there. And so here we have some basic fox images that look okay, especially when they're smaller. When you open them up like this, and you can open them up and then click through, you start to see that they don't look as high quality as what we saw on Midjourney in that section of class if you've watched that. So what we need to do is add some more detail to the prompt. And again, watch the Midjourney lessons because you can use the same prompt ideas here. So what I'll add now is a photo of a fox in a forest. Professional wildlife photography. I'm going to even put the focal length of the lens being used. So I'm going to put in 300 millimeter lens, which is like a big telephoto lens where you can zoom in far into wildlife. I'll put beautiful lighting, sunset, back lighting, and photorealistic. Now let's generate it and we'll see what the results are. Once you get your 4 results, you can make variations of those images. So here we have photos that look a little bit more artistic, right? So here from this view, look better. Beautiful sunset, that backlighting hitting the fur in this one, but the eyes, the face of the fox, it just doesn't look great. And that's where DALL-E fails as of now. I'm sure in the future the tool is going to get better. But here what we can do is create variations. So what we can do is just click on an image that we like and then choose to create variations. And then it will create 4 images based off of that photo. One cool thing about DALL-E, different than Midjourney, is it has a bit of a photo editing aspect or image editing aspect to it. So here we see just doesn't look amazing, right? So let's try a different prompt to see what we can come up with that might look better. And I think some of the more illustrations, the 3D renders, that kind of stuff looks better with DALL-E. So what I will do is a cute 3D render of a penguin in the South Pole. We'll just do that. Okay, so we've got a few options that might work. Let's go ahead and click on this one. The eyes don't look good. Let's click on variations to see if we can fix that. Get a new variation. You can see tips down below that pop up. All right, so maybe our penguin's just going to be closing their eyes, and that's fine. We can start from here, and I'll show you how to edit a photo. So of course you can download by clicking the download button, or we can click edit. One of the things that we have is called outpainting, or adding a generation frame down here. So we can click this plus frame, and now we can add to this photo. So say we want to add more context to the left of this image, we can click there and then choose generate. And we could even type in what we want. A polar bear, I don't know, in the South Pole, swimming near an iceberg. 3D rendering of, generate. You also have tools here to add an image. So if you have graphics or images you want to add to your generation or to your image, and then also an erase tool where you can erase something. So here we have now a polar bear, and it has variation, so we can click through. So this one followed it with the in swimming. This one's kind of cool though. I kind of like that one, so I'm going to accept that one. We can erase things. So say we don't like this cloud or something, we can click the eraser and we can erase that cloud. And now we would have to add a generation frame, put it behind, or we can extend it here, and we'll say of 3 baby penguins playing with a fish. And it should fill in that erase spot and then continue the generation. You don't have to generate more. You could just generate what's behind that erase spot and it should do it. All right, so here's our variations. So we're not going to be competing with DreamWorks or Pixar yet, but okay, not terrible. Okay, kind of funny. Okay, so let's just accept that. From here, we can download the image if we want to our desktop. Cool. All right, so let's go back. So here we have all of our variations. You can see this was a different prompt, 3D render of a cute penguin, solid light blue background, and then I added the details of different applications that create 3D renders to add some of that detail. A couple others that I actually liked. So here is a Yosemite Valley in the style of vector artwork. So this one came out pretty cool, I thought. Here was a high quality photo of a camera. Again, it's not what you would get back with the same exact prompt with Midjourney. Still, it's a good tool to know how to use. You can see that some of these other images look pretty good. So let's go ahead and try to copy this. A Van Gogh style painting of an American football player. A Van Gogh style painting, a woman playing guitar. And so here we have these more abstract images actually look a lot better. I'm going to create a variation for that. So right now, here's an example that pops up with the tip. Stained glass window depicting hamburger and french fries. That's great. So always think about not only the subject matter, but also the style, and if there's any reference to other people's style of painting, photography, the specific format, 3D rendering, a painting, a photo, a sketch, pencil sketch, watercolor, the medium of the artwork. Always think about all those things when you're creating a prompt, and definitely check out the Midjourney section if you haven't watched that already. So this is DALL-E. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Once DALL-E starts to get a little bit more advanced, I'll create some more lessons on it in terms of how to properly improve your prompts and things like that to really get high quality images from DALL-E. All right, have a beautiful day. See you in another video. Here are 3 AI voiceover generators that you should check out. This isn't a tutorial on each of them. The process is very, very similar for all of these. Basically, you just submit text and it will come back with the audio. Some of them have advanced features such as changing the pitch, the tone, the pauses in between sentences, after commas, and things like that. Of course, all of them have a ton of different voices to choose as well. Some sound a little bit more realistic than others, but these are tools that I find to be more realistic than what we saw with the Pictory AI voices. Narrowkey is one of them, Speechify, and Lovo. Speechify actually has celebrity voices, and this is a whole new thing that's happening where people can actually submit their voice, they record a bunch of audio, and then that's a style, an AI voice that you can use for your very own videos. So if you need Snoop Dogg to narrate your next documentary, here you go.
Yo, it's Snoop D-O-double-G, and I'm an English voice from the United States. It's time for you to get your reading superpowers.
So that's something that sets Speechify apart. Lovo is another one, and very similar. Both Speechify and Lovo are pretty advanced in terms of what you can create. I wanted to mention Narrowkey because this is actually free to get started. So if you sign up for a free account, then you just click Get Started and then choose Text to Speech Audio. What you can do is we can just type in anything, and you have a very short limit with the free account, but you can test it out. So let's choose American English, and we're going to choose Will. Let's see what Will sounds like. Hi, I'm Will. All right, so let's see if I could replace my good friend and co-instructor for many of my photography courses, Will, by generating new audio from him by automatically using AI Will.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm so excited to teach you about photography.
Not going to compete with Will Carnahan yet, but for social media content, other videos, and that was just a random choice of a voice. There's other ones that might fit your style better. And like I said, Narrowkey is free to play around with, get started. You can do some short videos before you have to upgrade to a paid plan. So Narrowkey, Speechify, and Lovo, these are the ones that I recommend checking out if you're looking for AI voiceovers for your own videos. Cheers. Welcome to this lesson on video AI tools. In this one, I'm going to go over Pictory.ai, which is an amazing tool that can automatically create video content from a script, from an article, and some other things as well. You'll see in a second. And the other thing that's cool is it's free to play around with. So you can sign up for an account and play around with the tool. You can see how it works before actually paying for it, which is really cool. And I'll show you it in just a second. But so go to Pictory.ai and sign up for a free membership. Then you'll get to a page that looks like this, where you can create a video from a script, from an article. If you have articles out online, you just paste the link to that article and it will come up with something for you. And then there's others like editing videos using text or adding visuals to video. If you've already created a video, you can kind of add B-roll here. But what we're going to be doing is script to video. So I'm going to click proceed. Here we have a script editor. You can type out a script yourself, or you can use an AI tool like ChatGPT to write one for you, which is what I'm going to do here. So on ChatGPT, I'm going to just write a 1-minute video script with 3 fun facts about kittens. So just gonna try to make it fun, social media, something like that. What you'll need to do is have ChatGPT edit this for you. You can do it yourself, but what we don't want these scene names, scene numbers. We don't want the narrator text itself. All we want is the text for the video script itself, because in the video, with Pictory, it's going to add that text to the screen, which is good for social media. A lot of people don't watch our videos with audio on, and we'll add an AI voiceover too. But what I'm going to do now, so we have this scene or this video. What I'm going to do is ask it to rewrite this script, remove the scenes and narrator text, just include the transcript, no quotations. So just trying to get it to rewrite it with just the text itself. Introducing the adorable world of kittens, blah, blah, blah. So yes, it should be the same as what it has here, introducing the adorable world of kittens. Great. So sometimes if you don't get what you want, you just reprompt it. And this is using ChatGPT 3.5 too. One thing you'll want to do is just read this out, because what I want is a 1-minute video, but I found that sometimes the scripts that ChatGPT writes it's longer than 1 minute. What I'll do is just ask it to rewrite and condense. So let's just start with this super short content right here. Of course, you could edit it yourself. You want to do all of your fact checking, make it actually unique and interesting, but this is a good starting point. So I'm going to copy this text and then head back to Pictory.ai. Here, I'm going to paste our text. I'm going to name it Kitten Facts. You can change the scenes. So each scene is like a new video, and you can have it seen on every sentence break, so after a period, or line break. Sometimes this is a lot of text for one scene. So what I'm going to do is just kind of break this up so that each of these lines is a new scene. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And then we're going to click proceed. Then we have the templates library. We can create a style and branding for ourselves, but just getting started, we're just gonna pick one of these that looks pretty good. You can kind of get a preview of what the text is going to look like. All of this you can change later on. Let's see, I'm just gonna pick this sunrise. That's kind of like a fun text, or maybe graceful. That's kind of neat. So let's select that. Then you choose your aspect ratio. 9:16 is a good one for social media reels, but of course you can choose 16:9 for something like YouTube, or 1:1, also great for social media videos, which is a square. It's going to analyze the text and create the video for us. So that was really quick. And now we're on the editor where we can make changes, because it's not perfect yet. But what we can do is get a preview of what's happening. So over on the right-hand side, if we click preview, we can see what's happening for each scene. It adds music for us, which we can change. But obviously we can't see these kittens' faces. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go in and move these videos around so that we can see what they look like. Now 9:16 is a vertical format, which is kind of hard for some video content, especially stuff that you might find on a stock video site like Story Blocks, which is what's being used. And you might just find these random videos that don't work, but we can quickly change those. So down below, I know I'm going through this fast, but down below on the bottom right, you have sort of your timeline of the video, and you go to each scene, and then on the left is where you can find all of the different elements to change. So visuals, for example, we can type in, let's just type in kittens, because really what we want for this video is just kitten videos. Here we can just click on the video and it will apply to this scene. We can go to the next one. We can go here, click, move it around. And then that's pretty much it for finding your video. You would just go through each scene, make sure it's the right video for that scene. If there's a scene where the text doesn't look great, you can move it around just by clicking and dragging this box around, or you can make all of your edits, typical edits to the text, the size, the spacing, everything like that. If you want to make changes to it for all of the scenes quickly, once you've made changes here, just click the Apply to Positions on All Scenes button up there. The other thing you can do is add AI voiceover, which I think is great because it's good to have the text on the screen, but having a voiceover is nice too. What you can do is add your own voiceover that you've recorded by clicking the Add Voiceover button. Either upload a file that you've created or record a voiceover right from the app. There are other AI voiceover tools that I'll go over in the future of this class in another video that have a higher quality sound more natural, but they do have AI voiceover here in the tool. If you click on audio, click on voiceover, here you can choose a voice and preview it with the play buttons.
Welcome to Pictory. It has been shown. Welcome to Pictory. Welcome to Pictory. Welcome to Pictory.
And once you find one that you like, you can click apply, and it's going to apply it to your video. And now when we click preview, it's going to take a moment to load, but once it renders out,
Get ready to discover 3 fascinating facts about kittens.
you can get a preview of that scene. To preview the whole video, once you're done, you click the preview button at the top.
Get ready to discover 3 fascinating facts about kittens. Fact number 1. Kittens are born with closed eyes, which typically open after 1 to 2 weeks.
So obviously I'm going to pause this here. I haven't gone through all the videos, scenes to change the visuals. And you're seeing that this AI tool, it's not taking the context of the whole video and applying it. I'm hoping that in the future with this tool and other AI video tools, they kind of use the context of and the subject of the video throughout, so it knows like, okay, the text is about doing flips, but we're not going to have a video of a person doing flips. We're going to have a video of cats rolling over each other or whatever. And so that's where one drawback, the weakness of this tool. But overall, this is something that if I wasn't trying to create a tutorial about this right now, it would take me about 5 minutes to edit this whole video, get it up and running. And you can imagine that you could outsource this as well, from beginning writing the script to uploading and downloading. And of course, you'll need to upgrade to download this video without the watermarks. But it is a pretty darn cool tool. I didn't go over these other buttons here, but you could add text, you could add other elements like stickers and animated GIFs right here. You could change the style over here, and this is where you can create a new style. You could add your branding, like your logos over in the bottom left with your branding, and then you could quickly change the format if you want to create this for both an Instagram reel and then also publish it on YouTube as a 16:9 landscape video. So cool to be able to automatically do all of this for us. And I found that Pictory is definitely one of the easiest to use. I like the format of the app, and it's great that you can get started for free and play around with it. All right, I hope you enjoyed this tool and this tutorial. If you have other questions about this one, or if you have suggestions for other AI tools or things that you want to learn or that you've played around with and think other students in the class would like, post it to the class. We would love to see it. And I will see you in another video. Cheers.